Yeah, Mar, how are you?
Hi, Kokila. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful. Finally, congratulations. You have passed the PMP exam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amar. I gave up all the credits to you because your classes was amazing, and that gave me some confidence because initially I was not that much preparing, and I was not prepared. But I remember you sincerely followed up with me. What happened? Are you preparing? That definitely helped me. Then I kickstart sometime, and then I drop off. So,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Because I consider my training successful only if students pass the exam, not just students complete the course. So that's
Mm.
why I keep on following up. Okay, what's the status? How much work you have done? So it's great to know that finally you have passed the exam. Thank you so much, Kokila, for the time for this session. Your lessons learned would be really helpful for people who would be watching. So let's start with your brief introduction, your background, specifically your project management experience.
Yeah, I am a technical delivery manager for an insurance company. So definitely, I was trying to pursue to get this PMP for a long time, but was not mentally prepared for the amount of dedication you have to put for the work with the family and work and kids. I have three kids, so it was hard for me, but I definitely feel happy now that I was finally decided to give that dedicated time. Once when you give the dedicated time, then you feel real confidence to give the exam. So this background is definitely project management, so this PMP is helped me a lot in getting better at what I'm doing. I can really see where the flaws are, what I'm doing wrong here. When I compare it, it is definitely helping me. All the way I'm communicating, the way I'm understanding the risk, the depth of the risk, the all the ceremonies that I'm doing with a meaning. It's not like like a traditional one. Okay, you did it, but understanding the concept of servant leadership was very helpful.
Absolutely fantastic. Okay, what resources did you use for for preparation?
Um, I went through the Pembroke guide. It was okay. The high level informations was there, and then definitely as per your recommendation, I read through the Rita RMC book. Um, Initially, when I saw that book, I thought I remember calling in saying, "I don't want to read this book, Amar. Can I get question papers to do the questions?" Because it was looking at the book, I feel like fall and sleep on it like a pillow. But I tried that doing tests, but my concepts were not strong. So I was only getting 60% score. So then I realized that this is the mistake I'm doing. I have to read through this book no matter what. Then I read through the book. So I was doing this practice test to see if I'm getting above 77 kick off the test, but it didn't happen. Then I finally reversed my test studying strategy, read through the book. It took one chapter a day. I took one chapter a day. So there was 13 chapters, so almost 2 weeks, and I thoroughly read it. So it was fantastic. I wish I would have done that before. So that one, and then definitely your notes was a lifesaver. I cannot no, thank you more because it was so helpful. And then your exam preps and questions and answers, everything was very, very helpful.
All right, wonderful. And you solved all the mock tests. What was your average score on those mock tests?
Yeah, when I was doing without studying the Rita, it was 60%. I think I messaged you, am I ready for the test? And I said, no, you have to get 70. Then I was like, oh my God, then I have to read this book. So, yeah, when I was doing, and after I read the book, my understanding and the depth of thing, and also very important is wearing the PMI hat. Like certain situations, you as a project manager, you would deal differently, but your PMI, you have to wear a PMI hat to answer the PMI questions. I figured it out later. Then I'm always on the wearing the PMI hat to answer the questions, and I was I more than passing or anything, I got confidence to do the exam. And I would say definitely the practice test was much harder than the exam. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, because they are designed in a way that you're fully prepared before you go to the exam. So exam looks much easier when you have gone through all the questions. So yes,
all of this.
perfect. Okay, so let's talk about exam. What was the distribution of questions in terms of approaches, like percentage of questions in waterfall versus agile, or what was the distribution or composition of the exam?
I would say majority it was hybrid. A little bit of waterfall and agile, but hybrid was most of the question. And for me, especially, I got everything situational questions, um, and like few questions that are from the text, like textual knowledge, but most of them are completely situational questions.
Absolutely, that is really important. So a lot of students, what they do is they rely on memorization and
Mm,
cramming definitions. This would not help in the exam
mm,
because
yeah.
exam is all about testing conceptual understanding. So you are in a real life situation and you have to deal with that. So yes, understanding definitions would be helpful, but cramming them and solely relying on definitions and memorization would not help in the exam. Exam would be
Mm,
all situational and conceptual understanding. So yes, that is really really important. And yes, hybrid. When we talk about hybrid for those students who are just starting the exam, hybrid is nothing but combination of both agile and waterfall. So if you have really good understanding of agile and waterfall, then you can answer hybrid questions as well. Perfect.
yeah.
Okay, Kokila, what were the important topics in your exam? Like if you could highlight three or four important topics, like these are the topics where students should not compromise.
Definitely process. I was trying to compromise on that. But you definitely the Rita process chart is very helpful. Finally, I it was online and I started practicing with that. Then my concepts really I was able to ingrain that in my brain. So process is the most important. Conflict conflict management is also I had a lot of questions in conflict management. Then I feel uh, not much related to organization or governance or something, uh, but the majority was definitely process and what I can think of now is conflict management.
Absolutely. So yes, from process, risk management is really important. Scope management is really important topic. You'll see a
Ah,
lot
yes.
from risk and scope, and from people management. Yes, leading team is really important, and yes, conflict is one of the topics. Okay, good. So Kokila, how
Yeah,
do you manage?
risk.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a lot of questions on risk
yeah,
management.
risk is
Definitely,
really
like
important.
30%, 40% was risk management, I would say.
Absolutely. Risk is really, really important. When I, teach PMP sessions these days, I tell them, okay, now we are going to discuss the most important topic of our, and that is risk management. Yes, that is really important. Perfect. Okay. So how did you manage time during the exam, Kokila?
I was very particular because that was one of my main weakness because I was not able to keep up with the time. I tried multiple times to keep up with 4 hours. I was not able to. But I feel the when you go to the test center, your mode is set, your concentration is set. But I divided the time like okay, 320. I'm going to for 60, 60, 60. I divided like that. But I didn't have much time for review. So I put flag for review, but I didn't have time for review. I had to click submit. But I would definitely say everyone uh, to, to pick a no, choose one answer before going. If you can flag it, but definitely choose an answer because sometimes you don't have time to go back and pick an answer. So at
Absolutely.
least you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not flag too many questions because you won't have
Yeah,
time to review them later. So yes, you can
exactly.
do that like two or three or four questions in a set of 60 questions. Yes, that you can do. One student, what she did, she flagged 15 to 20 questions in each set, but she couldn't review them. So there is no point of, flagging them if you can't review them. Only flag those
Mm,
questions where you have a possibility, like if you come back and you can review them later, maybe you'll find a better choice. Otherwise, don't review them because you won't be having enough time to review them
I
later.
know.
All right, perfect. Kokila, most of the questions in the exam are multiple choice questions where you select one options. Did you see any other type of question in your exam?
Yes, I got maybe three, four questions with choosing two answers, like two choices, and then a lot of maybe four, five on drag and drop, giving situations and definitions, and those are the ones that you have the textual knowledge, like the
Yeah.
definitions, and that also situations and definitions to match it.
Absolutely. So yes, in there would be 4 to 5 drag and drop questions, and those
Hmm.
are relatively easier because, for example, one could be okay. There are 5 types of risk responses, and then
Exactly, I got that one.
yeah. So you need to match each risk response with the type, and you may be having 5 different stages of team development: forming, storming, norming, and there would be 5 situations. So yes, that is really helpful if you know the definitions.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Did you see any question where you had to do some mathematical calculation?
Yeah, definitely the variance, cost, performance index, and all. Very simple, but I didn't get complex anything like PCP.
Yes, you can expect 1 or 2 questions from
Kind of.
earned value analysis and very simple and basic questions like
Mm-hmm.
schedule variance, cost
Mm.
variance, schedule performance index, and cost performance index. You just need to interpret those. So those are really simple and easy questions. Okay, Kokila, what was the most challenging thing during the entire process for you from start till you pass the exam?
Time management was challenging for me. I had to, oh my God, I have to finish it now in 10 minutes. I was on my pace, like I was sitting straight. I could not even relax. It is, you have to manage. You have to be on, keep watching the time, because sometimes it's situational questions. You just go into the mode of, okay, this, and you don't realize that you're spending more time on a question. So time management was definitely one thing that we need to make sure.
All right. How helpful were our daily Q&A sessions?
It is definitely my the whole point of me doing was your classes. I was very average, I would say. I didn't even have confidence because I didn't prepare. I was not prepared, but your hearing your explanation, everything. When I started studying, it made a world of difference. I really was very grateful to you, Amara. Thank you so much.
All right, perfect. And what was your score in those sessions, daily sessions out of 10?
You wouldn't want to hear that. Sometimes I score good, but most of the times I like 50, 60.
Hmm. But one thing that, I noticed that you were really, punctual and regular in those sessions. That is really good. And that's what I say. If you are consistent in the entire process, then you're going to pass the exam. The only problem is when you stop studying, and then you have
Yeah.
to restart again, right? You once did that, and then I push you, okay, come back and start,
Yeah.
because there is no other way to pass the exam. So consistency is
Yes.
key. Stay consistent, stay regular, spend at least an hour on daily basis. It would be great if you could spend 2 hours, and 1 to 2 hours on daily basis are enough to pass the exam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely that was helpful. I started missing your classes. When I was started preparing, I was like, oh my God, I missed these classes.
Kokila, any advice for PMP aspirants?
Taking notes in the flashcard was very helpful, because when I was studying, especially when I was doing practice tests, some of the terminologies I will not understand. I take note of it, and then I check explanation. I write it down in the flashcards. So and it's easy for reviewing. So I that was very helpful for me. Um, Other than that, you have to spend time. Like there is no easy way, I feel. that for PMP, a lot of concepts and situational questions. So we have to ensure that we have the dedicated time for this. So as I said, I was not able to score more because my concepts were not strong because I was not reading the book. So I spent time reading the entire book, one chapter a day. I took in an RMC book, you have the question and answer also after every session to understand, to see if your knowledge is, you have that in-depth knowledge. So I started scoring nice, better. And the most important thing is the confidence level raised. And that is what is most important for doing an exam, I feel. Once you have the confidence, yeah, now you're ready to do that, then you will definitely pass out successfully.
Absolutely, confidence is the key. So yes, a lot of students they couldn't take the exam because they don't feel confident. They are like, okay, we are going to
Hmm.
fail the exam. So yes, practice tests are really helpful to gain that confidence. If you're getting 60, 70, 70, more than 70% means you are ready to write the exam.
Ready.
Yes, that is really helpful. Okay, for people who are watching on these sessions, so these are the notes that Kokila was mentioning. So if you have these notes, then exam preparation would be much easier. So in 9 pages, I have covered 100% of PMP concepts. So they look small, but a lot of, I think everything is in these notes. You won't be
Everything.
anything outside of these notes in the real PMP exam. So you can simply get these notes by sending a text here or sending an email. They are also available on LinkedIn as well, so you can get those. Also, Kokila, I saw your LinkedIn post. Thank you so much for that. I was just, reading that. So thanks for the acknowledgement. And that's the purpose. When I see my students passing the exam, it really makes me happy, and that's the reward that I get in return. So thank you so much, and once again, congratulations for passing the PMP exam.
I'm very thankful to you. Thank you so much, Amar,
All right,
for
take
your
care of yourself. See you. Bye.